Good afternoon. I'm Cal Purvis. I'm the Chief Pilot and Director of Flight Operations for Jazz Aviation. I'm based here in Toronto, Canada. We're a national airline operating a fleet of regional aircraft throughout Canada and North America. We also have a charter division that operates Boeing 757s seasonally for Thomas Cook, Canada. We'll have flights shown on the Q400 between Toronto and Quebec City. We'll have flights that you'll see on the CRJ 100-200 between Toronto and St. John. And we'll have flights that you'll see on the CRJ 705 between Toronto and Charlottetown. So primarily we're going to be focusing on the Toronto operation for this DVD. We have bases of operations in Vancouver, Calgary, in Toronto, in Montreal, and in Halifax. Just to continue with the DVD and the Q400 that you'll be flying, and the RJ200 and the 705, one thing that you will notice is that our brand new Q400s are all painted in the Air Canada livery for Air Canada Express. That'll be how the newer aircraft, after they go through maintenance and the paint shop, will be painted for our fleet of 130 some odd aircraft. So that's something that we're looking forward to, and certainly a change in the Air Canada branding of the new Air Canada Express.
Today, the one 230 at 11,
My
just
control.
17, to the land runway 24 left.
To land 24 left, 301.
Check power. Power check. Through 80 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Gear up. We've just asked for a deviation to the right. We have a little bit of weather off our nose here, so we're just going to skirt around it to the right-hand side. And we may have to go a little bit further to the right here. We'll just see how things work out. And then we'll come in in around and proceed direct back to Quebec.
So continue with our approach preparation. What I'm doing now is again going to the ACAR system and requesting the latest weather in Quebec. So I'll put in the identifier, simply send out the request, and again, we expect within a minute an ACAR to send a printout back of the current weather. Here's the printout of the weather. It's ATIS Whiskey in Quebec. Weather on the hour.
We're just between flights now. We're going to be on our way back to Toronto very, very shortly. What we're doing is just a walk around of the aircraft to make sure that there's no fluids leaking out of the airplane, make sure that the tires are in good shape, and there's nothing out of the ordinary before we go flying once again. We do this walk around inspection before every flight, even at the outstation, such as what we're doing here in Quebec City. I'm just walking around the aircraft. I'm not touching anything. I'm just looking at it visually.
And coming across here, we call it Mr. Ed. It's actually the engine display, Ed for short form, and it's showing all the parameters for the aircraft as we proceed with our flight. And the fuel countdown as we go along here, outside air temperature at minus 20 degrees Celsius. Shows all the parameters, your torque settings, your NP, and your ITTs, the temperature the engines are running in Celsius degrees, and of course your oil temperature and oil pressure. Gavin on his side is basically a duplicate copy of my side. There is a couple differences on the MFDs. On my side is showing the spoilers, and on his side he's showing all the hydraulic pressures and the flap indication.
407, Roger. Just to keep you sharp, because I'm sure you don't do it very often, we're going to be landing right into the wind for you today.
Oh.
I don't think we're trained to do that. I was just going to say, you can cancel that sim you had booked. This is going to be it. Okay, thanks. It's sure not your
got a
fault.
sense of humor.
Just built the runways the wrong way.
Let's move it.
Actually, the real truth of it is, if the wind was 320 at 20, and we slid over to 33 left, before your first guy would flare, your company would call up here and say, no way, back to the 24. Yeah, I know. It's a whole different priority. Yep.
Somebody's got a sense of humor.
See, you know, it's a nice time to come into Toronto Pearson Airport when
they got time to talk.
Controller can do a little joke.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
Belts are on. After takeoff, checks complete.
Check.
Climb flight level 230, Jazz 854.
There's 230.
Confirm.
Alrighty, top of descent basically is 3 nautical miles from it. So as we reach about 3.8 degrees, we should see the snowflakes start coming down. We'll start our descent and stay with the 4-degree slope at that time. Okay, there comes the snowflake, and we're starting our descent.
Moncton, Jazz 854, vacating 250 for 9,000.
354, roger. Altimeter again, 29er, 89er. Yes, 14 Zulu weather.
29er, 89er, and we have the 1400, thanks.
Roger.
Well, good afternoon. We're heading back to Toronto from Charlottetown on the second leg this morning. We're at flight level 240, and I'd like to explain some of the panels and functions of our CRJ 705. Starting from the left, on here we have a lighting panel, and if you were to look on the first officer's side, he has the same panel on his right side. So we have a lighting panel which sets up all the lights, etc. on these side panels, and for some of the instruments that we use. Well, it's been a good day. Good flight to Charlottetown, a good flight back to Toronto. Welcome to Toronto, beautiful weather. It's certainly beats working for a living, I'll tell you. Don't you think, Jeff?
Coffee smells good. The galley on this aircraft is forward, just behind the flight deck, so we can smell the fresh coffee brewing here this morning. So St. John, New Brunswick is located just on the Bay of Fundy, or just off the Bay of Fundy. So the weather we're experiencing today is certainly typical of that airport when we're getting a south wind. It's fairly small. It's a regional airport, so not a lot of traffic in and out. There's, I believe, just 2 carriers that service that on a scheduled basis. With the weather today, we're choosing to land on runway 23. The wind is favoring 23, and there's an ILS approach on that. So we are on the descent into to St. John, New Brunswick, and currently the weather is not too favorable. We're hoping that it'll come up enough we can conduct the approach and land, but if we conduct a missed approach, we're going to climb essentially straight ahead to 2,200 feet on a track of 230 degrees to the Zulu Sierra Tango, which is the Alpine NDB. We'll transition initially on our RMIs. We'll have the ADF pointer up on our RMIs, but once we get established in the missed approach, we'll actually transition over to what we call white needles or FMS nav, and we'll use that for the missed approach. So if we don't get into St. John this morning, our plan is to head over to Fredericton. We'll conduct an approach in Fredericton, and if we can't land in Fredericton, then we'll carry on to our legal alternate of Moncton, New Brunswick. So.
.100 above.
Check.
Leading lights visual, decide.
Minimums. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.